Today, our story takes us to Bariloche, Argentina. On the evening of July the 31st, 1995, one of the most peculiar UFO sightings ever documented would confuse and baffle over 100 witnesses and would be forever etched in their minds. The day started like any other for Georgi Polanco. Georgi was an experienced pilot for 18 years and had several hundred hours of flying experience under his belt. He boarded flight AA674 with his crew and set off for San Carlos de Bariloche. For most of the flight, things went smoothly and nothing out of the ordinary happened. Passengers were eating, drinking, and children were chatting and bouncing around their seats. It was not until the flight was quickly approaching Bariloche that something happened which would change the life of Georgi and many of the passengers forever. As Georgi was readying his descent, he noticed something in the distance, a strange disc-shaped object that had relatively dim orange and green lights around it and was around 30 meters in diameter. A few seconds later, the object disappeared and suddenly reappeared next to the plane, just a few meters away. This immediately shocked and scared Georgi, as no military or commercial aircraft would ever fly so close and risk the lives of all those on board. Georgi then immediately radioed ground control to explain what he was seeing. However, he was informed that there were no aircrafts in a 30-mile radius of their position, and the craft Georgi witnessed was not showing on any radars. The craft then moved from the side of the plane to the front in less than a second, then back and forth, darting around the airplane, almost like it was playing a game. In a panic, Georgi radioed for military support, and 2 jets were scrambled to escort Georgi and his passengers to safety. The pilots of the jets also witnessed the strange disc-shaped craft that was following the airplane, and were also shocked at what they witnessed. Due to the position of the UFO and the airplane, it was not safe to open fire. Helpless, the jets followed the airplane for around 20 minutes. Then suddenly, the UFO expelled a blinding bright light that witnesses stated was overpowering, and many passengers started to scream as they thought a bomb had exploded. Terrified, Georgi Polanco and his co-pilot started an emergency landing. He felt the risk from whatever was chasing him through the air was higher than the risk of potentially missing the runway. As the plane descended, air traffic control and various other eyewitnesses on the ground witnessed with their own eyes the strange craft as it followed the plane just a few meters to the side of it. Ground control was dumbstruck and requested an armed SWAT team to safely escort Georgi and his co-pilot and the passengers off the plane. As the wheels of the plane descended, the whole electric system on board completely shut down, and the entire plane was plunged into complete darkness, as well as the whole airport and the ground traffic control center. As Georgi hit the runway, the UFO hovered for a few moments until blasting off at an unimaginable speed. The fighter jets tried to give chase and flew as fast as possible, but it was far too late, and the unknown aircraft seemingly disappeared. Over 100 passengers and crew were left baffled. Many of them, including the military jet pilots, also provided statements of what they saw. When the news of what happened hit the media, the case blew up and was featured on TV and in newspapers. Despite this, there were very little government investigations into what had happened, despite the fact that an unknown aircraft entered the airspace and could have been a big threat to the civilians on board the flight. What makes this case even more compelling is the fact that all 4 of the military jet pilots died in highly irregular incidents just days after the incident. Many believe this was to silence them, for exposing secrets and becoming public with their statements. Despite the possible cover-up, Georgi Polanco was adamant on what he saw that evening.
Al comandante Polanco que está aquí. ¿Cuántas veces vio algo parecido a lo del año pasado?
Bueno, como lo del 31 a la noche fue la única experiencia.
And has changed his mind from a skeptic to a believer. And even quoted, "Open your minds, we're not alone in the universe." One thing is for sure, there was something that evening, and it changed the lives of many forever. The question is, what exactly was it? Thank you for watching, and if you're new, consider subscribing, as I upload videos like these on a weekly basis. Thank you.